your kingdom here. Let the darkness fear. Show your mighty hand. Heal our streets.
This week I thought I'd give you a bit of a change of scenery and in coming to the sanctuary where this pile of blankets that the ladies have been working on for MCC are piling up. It is too precious not to share with the rest of you, and so have a look at these, and they are absolutely fantastic and colorful. This past week I thought of this idea, and I've shared it before, and a few years back there was a gentleman that said it came to pass, and you read in the Bible that it came to pass. And so if you're reading in the King James, you will find this phrase quite regularly. The NIV doesn't use it because it doesn't quite mean what I'm trying to bring out. But the King James uses this phrase like 542 times. It's amazing. What the guy shared was that it came to pass. It didn't come to stay. And those are very encouraging words to him at that time. And so it's been a thought that's been on my mind. And even though the phrase in the Bible doesn't mean that it didn't come to stay, that's not what it means. It means it happened. I still thought it was a good idea. When we read Scripture, we know that things didn't come to stay. We know that things came to pass. They came to be here for a little while and then to continue on. COVID isn't our only issue. Now it seems to kind of be at the forefront of everything that we're doing. But COVID isn't our only issue. We have health issues, other health issues. We have family and relationship issues. We have financial issues. These things are, amongst other things, are also things that can get us down, maybe even more than what COVID ever has. And so it's good to know that these things that are here on earth are temporary. They're here only for a little while. Sometimes it seems that they're here for a long time, maybe forever, and sometimes we use terms like that, but they're not really. We know that things have come to pass. The Bible talks about things that don't come to pass, that things that are here forever, and those aren't here. Those aren't here temporary. When the Bible talks about things like that will last forever, it is things like God's love, His reign, the new heaven and the new earth, and so those things are things that will last forever. Those things are permanent. Those things aren't temporary, but those things are also not. They are eternal. And the last part of Revelation, for me, is also, I was reminded of that. There is a time coming when these things will all pass away. And so that, for me, is encouraging. I've faced not so good times. I've faced good times. And both have passed. And we've moved on. And sometimes we remember those. I was talking to a friend here this past week, and I was reminded of this passage out of Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 10 to 12, and I want to read those. When the Lord your God brings you into the land that He swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give you, a land that with large flourishing cities you did not build, houses filled with all kinds of good things you did not provide, wells you did not dig, and vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant. Then when you eat and are satisfied, be careful that you do not forget the Lord who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. With this thought of that these things come to pass, we know that we are going to move on, and that there are good times ahead, quite likely. And if not here on earth, then definitely in eternity. But if those good times come here on earth, then there's encouragement in these words to say, don't forget the Lord your God. You see, for me, I'll just talk about myself, when in the bad times, I seek the Lord more. I spend more time reading His Word. I spend more time in prayer. I spend more time with God's people. And interestingly enough, I want to go to church more in the bad times than what I do in the good times. And now we can't go to church. We can't gather together. But God says here to the Israelites, when the time comes, don't forget the Lord your God. Don't forget Him. And so the encouragement today is the day to determine that I'm not going to forget the Lord my God. Today is the day that I would determine that. It's much harder for me to determine that in the good times, because the pleasures of this earth kind of distract me from the things of God very often. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He will always stay the same. He is one of those things that is eternal. He is not one of these things that came to pass. He is here to stay, and He will always be. He will always be there ready for you, for me. He can be counted on at all times. The God of the valley will still be God when we reach the mountaintop, but will we remember Him? And so today is the day to determine that I'm going to remember God when I come out of this. And I will determine to make Him my God, instead of all of these other things that want to take priority in my life. May God bless you. May you know today that He is near. Whatever your struggle is today, may you know that He is good. Have a blessed week.
Build your kingdom.